Parents of Earth, are your children fully immunized against childhood diseases? Call your doctor or...
He's in. Trump's in. He's the president. President Trump. President of the world. Look, to be honest, I don't want to take a specific stance on the matter. I wouldn't describe myself as a particularly political person, and even if I was, why would you care? Who even am I? What I am interested in, however, is movies and or television, and regardless of how you personally feel about Trump, his time as president does have some pretty fascinating implications for the upcoming trends and genres of pop culture. Pop culture. If you look at the history of the entertainment industry and its common subject matter, you'll see that art has always reflected society. Plenty of bloggers and vloggers have pointed this kind of thing out before. We saw a rise in technological thrillers during the last few years because everyone was afraid of the NSA spying on them. Similarly, The X-Files ended its original run after 9/11 when America desperately wanted to trust their government instead of suspecting it of hiding conspiracies. Film noir lived and died by the life and recovery of a post-World War II malaise. Godzilla and other giant monster films were created out of an atomic-bombed Japan, and zombie films, like the original Dawn of the Dead, entered the mainstream during the 70s and 80s, with many commentators seeing the zombie as a scathing metaphor for a blind conservative voter. If you took media studies in high school, all of this will probably sound pretty familiar to you. Genre reflects society. So what kind of films and TV shows are the next 4 to 8 years going to give us under Trump's administration? What about Trump frightens or influences society? Well, that's the thing. I would say, at least in the mainstream blockbuster world, we already have 2 Trumpian era movies. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Both of these movies deal with similar totalitarian themes, such as evil and power. For example, Rogue One focuses on a rebellion, fighting the power, fighting for freedom from a crippling regime. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them focuses quite a lot on minorities and immigrants, their importance and place in our society, the inherent dangers of unfounded discrimination. Almost every character in this film is a marginalised individual. Wizards who are hated by humans, humans who are hated by wizards, kids who are hated by their parents. Even the villain's overall plan is to rule over a section of society which he has deemed unworthy. You get what I'm saying? You feel me? Like I said, I don't want to take sides, but you can't deny that these are the issues that those who don't support Trump worry or think about. That doesn't make these commentaries true. It doesn't make them false either. These are just what a huge portion of society see in Trump's character, and therefore, what they want to see reflected on film. Obviously, Rogue One and Fantastic Beasts both went into production well before Trump won the election. But this sort of reinforces this idea even more. See, as genre reflects society, so too does society reflect genre. Like a snake eating its own tail, I think. I never really understood that metaphor. As much as these films are a product of current Western culture and opinion, Trump himself could be a product of these ideas as well. Only when these movies went into production, we weren't able to assign his name to these fears. But all of this was still in the collective consciousness, and it inspired the creation of these movies, and maybe inspired Trump to run for office in the first place. There are going to be a lot more TV shows and movies in the next few years that deal with government paranoia, oppressive regimes and minorities surviving and overcoming discrimination, the idea of keeping certain types of people out. Hell, there are already 2 movies floating around at the moment with the word wall in the title. That was a joke. My 2 cents worth. Just another YouTube film buff with a polytechnic qualification, which means I think I can talk about movies. Maybe I can't. Maybe I'm an idiot and we won't see a rise in films dealing with the social fears of Trump. Maybe I know nothing about politics. Maybe I should run for president.
All right, we made it.
So this is the future?
The year 2015.
We haven't eaten in 25 years. Pizza.
In the future, like today, there's really only one place to get a great pizza. Pizza Hut.
Wow, nice look, guys. Very 80s.
Pizza Hut, making it great.